widely considered free and fair elections in Venezuela, the elections that brought him to power?
They were considered free and fair, but the system was tilted towards the governing party, not only because of mistakes made by the opposition that at one point didn't want to participate in Congress, so he had Congress all to himself. He was able to change the laws. He was able to get Congress to give him almost complete power. And then the opposition tried to come back, which hasn't been successful. Now, John was speaking about the transition. The Constitution mandates call for elections. That should happen in the next 30 days. President Chávez had publicly said before he left last time to Cuba that Venezuelans should vote for Nicolas Maduro as their president.
He's the vice president.
He's the vice president right now. The main candidate, Capriles, the opposition candidate, will run against him. But the question is, will the opposition have enough time to defeat Maduro when there will be a sympathy vote towards Maduro and towards people who are in power? And a lot of people, as Eva was mentioning, a lot of changes happened in Cuba, a very oil-rich country. The economy hasn't been, by many, considered as well managed, but a lot of poor people did improve their living standards.
In
Venezuela. So that's going to be an interesting issue to see how it evolves and what happens in 30 days.
And John King, it's going to be interesting to see how the Obama administration reacts to this development, sort of just wait on the outside and see what happens, or see what else they can do.
Well, obviously, you need to step back and wait for the transition and the elections. As you note, the government of Hugo Chavez is already accusing the United States of meddling, maybe poisoning him in the first place. So there's that. There's always going to be the conspiracy theories and the back and forth. The question is, though, what happens next? And not just for the Obama administration, for other leaders in the region, as Juan Carlos knows well. A lot of leaders in the region, some of them Chavez friends, others always wary of Chavez, tried to appeal to him to come back into the mainstream, to do other things. And he was this enigmatic, iconic figure, and he was not going to listen. He was going to do things his own way. The question is whether his hand-picked successor wins the election, whether the opposition can rally in time. How does that next leader decide they want to play their cards when they're new on the scene? But remember, the wealth of Venezuela is what gives it sway. Chavez used that wealth to become a world figure, to travel to Iran, and to stick his eye at the West, sure, including the United States. The question comes next is, will the next leader try to do the same thing, or again, lacking the personal history and the personality of a Chavez, will we have a quieter leader, even if they have relatively consistent policies? Let's
go back to Shasta Darlington, our correspondent in Caracas right now. Shasta, can you sense what's going on the streets of Caracas, other cities, now that the vice president has confirmed that Hugo Chavez has died? What's been the reaction on the street?